As you may know, GroupPrice is a company dedicated to improving the knowledge and growth rate of each of your business. Our passion is to share our experience and that of our partners and customers with you so you can grow your business. We accomplish this with an open business model that focuses on delivering information and great deals directly to your inbox. The GroupPrice webinar program includes presentation from our partners and customers so you can hear about their services, why they choose GroupPrice, and how their business benefited. Today's seminar discusses marketing automation, and our featured speaker include Joshua Krafchin, founder of Clever Zebo. Josh will be addressing the range of issues and solutions of marketing automation and what it takes for companies like yours to successfully select and implement marketing automation solutions. So there are two parts to today's webinar. First, a presentation on how to identify and solve your marketing automation problem, followed by a Q&A period, which each of you can ask questions about the material covered in today's webinar. Okay, let me pass over to Josh. So he'll start the presentation. Josh.
Awesome. Thank you. It's so awesome to be here, and really thanks GroupPrice for giving me an opportunity to speak to your audience. I love what you guys are up to. Let's jump in. Let's get right in there. We had done the webinar before. There was lots of Q&A, but now for all of you guys who are watching this video, you just get all the information straight, easy, and then you can go implement it. Okay, so let's start with basics. So first I just want to show you what the big picture is. Why are we, where does lead nurture / marketing automation, where does this fit in the puzzle? So first part of things is that we need to get people to the site. That's the traffic generation piece of
muted.
And that can happen through search, that can happen through Facebook ads, that can happen through our content marketing program. There are all of these different ways that we get people in, and then we need to capture their information. Okay, so that's where someone's going to go to a lead capture form, they're going to fill out their information, we grab it. Unfortunately, and so some companies do that well, some don't, but unfortunately a lot of companies stop there. They get the information, maybe they send one email, maybe they make one phone call and nothing else. And it's a crapshoot. So my argument and what we're going to talk about today is how you can use lead nurture, that third piece of the big picture, to really increase engagement, increase revenue, and really revolutionize your marketing program and ultimately get to what we want, conversions, more sales, more product buys, and people buying higher value, higher ticket items. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep rolling here. So first of all, I alluded to it before, but so many companies today are just addicted to new leads. This is a great episode of The Office, where basically Michael goes and gets some really hot, awesome leads from the head office and doesn't want Dwight to have them, so he throws them out and then they end up in the trash dump, and Dwight goes and spends all of this time trying to get these new leads, and what he doesn't realize is that he already has this Rolodex, this incredible platform from which he can get new business. So we need to break our addiction to new leads. Yes, they're important, but they're not the entire puzzle. Okay. So before we do anything else, I want to ask you all a really quick question. All right, we're going to look at two kinds of emails. Version A is a graphically designed email. It has lots of beautiful icons. It has a button that says "Find Yours." Version B is just straight text. It ends up being all of the same content, but it's straight text. Okay, good. So now the question is, which of these two versions, version A or version B, raised revenues by 303% with identical subject lines, offers, and landing pages? Which is it, A or B? By the way, I'll just let you know, most people tend to think it's A. Most people guess that version A is the one who won, and it's not. In this case, it was version B. So a few thoughts. First of all, the real reason I'm showing you this is I've noticed that one of the biggest hurdles to a lot of people putting a marketing automation program or a lead nurture program in place is they just get overwhelmed. They don't know which technology to use. They don't know what the timing should be, and then they worry, oh my God, do I have to design the most beautiful emails in the world? And what this case study shows is that a text-only email, which is super easy to create, it's just writing some good copy and really capturing your value proposition, can be highly effective. I should make a caveat. It's not that this is always the case. There are certainly situations in which beautiful graphical emails work better. Say you're selling a certain kind of product, or you're really focusing on celebrities or things that are visual. But for a lot of us out there, especially us B2B players or us guys who are selling a software as a service or some kind of product that is not necessarily visual, these text-only emails can work great. And then I'll say one other thing. Also, a mix of the two, graphical and text-only, can be nice. Two other thoughts. One is that, one of the really nice reasons, one of the reasons why version B tends to work is because it's personal. It looks like it's coming from an individual. And so what I want to mention to all of you is that when you're thinking about lead nurture, you want it to be personal. We're going to look, I know I've gone very narrow, and then we're going to expand the picture, but I want you to keep in mind lead nurture works when it's specific to what a customer has done, when you're really in their mind and you're understanding where they are in the buying process. And the second part, which ties into that point, is that when we use marketing automation software, lead nurture software, we have access to an incredible amount of data. We know where someone clicked on the website, which pages they visited, what it was where we actually got their information, how many times did they come back to the site, and we can change our messaging based on what they did. And so one of the beautiful aspects of using text-only emails is that we can really adapt our marketing copy to be very specific to where someone is in the process. And so, just not to freak anyone out, first things first, we always want to get a simple program in place, and then we want to tweak from there and go. Okay, I know I'm speaking fast, but there's a lot of good information here. So let's dive in now really to lead nurture. And I want to give you a case study. And I'm going to give you a case study from Clever Zebo's first client, who is Rocket Lawyer. Rocket Lawyer is a company who creates legal documents. You can go into their service. You can go through a templated form builder, and you can build your own contracts. You can build your own wills, etc. So for Rocket Lawyer, for a long time, they didn't actually have this marketing automation program in place. They didn't have a lead nurture flow in place. When we put in a rudimentary program that was not optimized, that followed what you see on the screen, I want you to guess what kind of revenue boost they saw right off the bat. All right, well, I can't even hear what you're saying, so I'll tell you, 15% revenue growth. This is without optimizing. This is without doing a lot of stuff to really segment to a particular audience. Just putting any kind of lead nurture program in place created 15% more revenue. All right, let's look a little bit closer at what was going on with Rocket Lawyer. So with Rocket Lawyer, what Rocket Lawyer, how the business model works is that someone comes in, they give some information up front, email address, name, etc., and now they can start a free legal document. They don't have to pay until either they finish the document and use some advanced features, or they do a second document. So what you can see is that it's really important for someone to actually finish that first document, or else they're never going to pay. Problem was, a lot of people, they start that first document and they don't complete it. So Rocket Lawyer, the problem that we identified is we really need to get people completing their document. So how do we do this? First of all, as soon as someone starts that document, we want to send them a welcome email. And this isn't just true for Rocket Lawyer. This is true in B2C, B2B. Let's send a confirmation. It's even true in shopping cart abandons. Maybe you're going to wait a few minutes in shopping cart abandons based on the business, but right away you want to message them. And I'll let you know I've worked with, at this point, hundreds of different companies, looked at their marketing programs, and pretty much across the board, the best response rate you're going to get on emails comes from that first email, that welcome email, that confirmation, that double opt-in email, whatever comes first. And so part of the point there is that you want to get that welcome email right. You want to have a really solid call to action. You want to tell them all the information they want to know, nothing more. It really behooves you to subject line test, to test that content, get it right. Now, what you'll see on the graph, if you were to look at a graph of engagement in terms of emails, although immediate always has the best open and click-through rates, that first 24 or 48 hours are also really strong. So I highly encourage you to send another email in really the next day. And this is all dependent on your business. I'm giving you a generic sense of things, and you want to do a lot of testing. But if you don't have a marketing automation program in place, test sending a second email 24 hours in. And then now it gets interesting. So in this case, what we do is in the 24 hours, we're sending an email very similar to the welcome email, though maybe it's a little bit more specific. Maybe we're giving them benefits of finishing their document. Maybe we're giving them some kind of pressure. There's some time urgency. Maybe it's tax season. Maybe there's a special holiday coming up we want to let people know about. The third email in the sequence, this is interesting. The third email, this is where maybe we get a little softer. So they didn't buy in the first or second email, and maybe there's a reason for it. So let's identify it. Let's ask them if they need help. Let's chat with them. Maybe let's send them some new resources. Let's invite them to call our phone number. Okay? So the final thing I want to say is this is a simple template. For those of you who don't have a marketing automation program in place, this is a very simple template you can put in. The reality, though, is that you can do a lot more. Your initial lead nurture flow can be 10 emails. It can be, you can do, let's say you do 6 emails off the bat, and you start out an immediate one 24 hours later within a few days, and then every week, every 3 or 4 days, you keep sending another email. And they can be highly targeted, they can give new information, etc. The point is first of all, get this first flow in place, and second of all, you can keep optimizing, you can keep doing better, and look at the numbers. Use your marketing automation software to look at the numbers, use analytics, see what's working and not working. Okay, I've thrown a lot of information at you. I'm going to throw a few more things, and then we're going to wrap. So a few key takeaways. So the first thing is don't give up on your leads. Don't give up, especially if you're in the B2B world. There are people who might love to buy your stuff. They think you're really interesting. They sign up. They just don't have the budget. They were just doing research. So 6 months pass, suddenly they have the budget. Who do you think they're going to go with? Are they going to go with the guys they talked to 6 months ago and liked but now have forgotten? Or are they going to go with the guys who are emailing them, who every once in a while reach out, who are not pushy but really helpful and give good information? Obviously the answer is the second one. So you need to squeeze more value from your leads. Keep that communication going. The other thing is that nurture campaigns really are most effective when they're based on customer action. So we all have databases, and you may have a database that hasn't really been engaged much and you want to do a better job. That's fine. You can send newsletters. You can send invites to webinars or to other opportunities. But really what's effective, a customer or a prospect takes an action, and then you send them that welcome email. You send them more information. And then once you've gotten through that initial track, now you can start putting them into the regular emails. Finally, here's a concept for you. For those of you who don't know what retargeting is an ability, and there are a whole bunch of companies out there who do it. You can also do it directly in Google AdWords. A really good company if you want some help is Retargeter as well. But basically, a person comes to your website. You can now pixel them, tell Google or one of these other ad networks, and now every time they go to other websites, you have the ability to serve an ad to them. So the beautiful thing is that you can actually sync up your marketing automation program, your lead nurture program, with your retargeting efforts. I mean, so how cool is that? You send an email, it has a message, and then it's reflected in banner ads they see on websites. It's incredibly powerful. Trust me. Okay, good. Those are the key takeaways. Quickly, Clever Zebo, just so you know, we're an online marketing strategy firm. We really believe in the power of online marketing holism. What we think is dangerous if you just focus on one very specific channel and only optimize that to the detriment of others. We believe that what's important is building revenues, building your message, really delivering what people want to their inboxes, to their eyeballs, to their browsers. And so we focus on a number of areas, including SEO. Obviously, we build lead nurture programs. We look at paid advertising, content marketing, and we love to get in there, optimize websites, optimize the conversion funnel. There are a couple of deals that I'll let, there are a couple of deals on GroupPrice that you can get from us. Here's my contact information if you have any if you need anything, feel free to reach out. I'm Josh Krafchin, Josh at cleverzebo.com, and Victor, unless there's anything else, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Unmuted.
Thank you very much, Josh, for the speak. So I'm gonna show what Clever Zebo have on GroupPrice. Now on GroupPrice.com, if you search for Clever Zebo, we have a $10 for 30 minutes online marketing strategies session provided by Clever Zebo, and we also have a 90% off on your next Google AdWords audit. So if you are interested in an SEM, like a Google AdWords audit, marketing strategy consultant, then go to GroupPrice.com and search for Clever Zebo, and you'll find a good deal there. Okay. All right. I think. Jason, do you have any question for Josh and for us? I can unmute. I can unmute you. Jason, are you here? Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm trying to talk, but
yeah,
hey, Jason, I hear you. Hey, man.
Okay, cool. I guess what I was just kind of wondering, having watched this, was kind of what is the arsenal of tools that you want to use, kind of have set up in your system to be able to go after these kinds of things. So, for instance, we have Aweber right now. It sounds like to me that if you know what you're doing in terms of going after this, if you have a tool like Aweber, it sounds like you can get after this pretty quickly. Am I right?
You got it. Yeah. So that's great. And Jason, that reminds me. And then you can, then we can talk about some of the other things you said. But Aweber is a great email tool. They're one of the best out there. I personally have an affinity for MailChimp because it's so easy to use. So Aweber, MailChimp, those are great email solutions. You can do a lot in terms of automated responders. There are some marketing automation tools that add a little bit more functionality. Marketo is one of the industry leaders. I'm particularly partial to LoopViews just because it's a really nice low price, and those guys they're scrappy and they're really working to do a good job for folks. And with marketing automation software, you're able to integrate. You're able to integrate with Salesforce or other CRMs. You can integrate what you're actually doing in your call efforts, and you can get some more data often on what people have done and do some more segmentation depending on whether you take advantage. But Aweber is a great tool and enables a lot of what you're going to want to do from an email lead nurture perspective.
Great, thank you.
So I have a question actually because I am managing the email program, and I actually found that some powerful email program also have the marketing automation function that you mentioned, because I can set the scheduling of each email. So how are those different from a Marketo or Salesforce?
Sure. So it's a good point, Victor. I think that a lot of the big email providers have had to play catch up and are adding functionality. And so increasingly, if all you want to do is email, the email providers are allowing for a lot of it. We could go provider by provider, and if anyone, if you want to connect with me offline, I'm happy to have a conversation. One of the big things that a lot of these marketing automation providers give that the email guys don't is that you can integrate with Salesforce. You can integrate with what's happening in your CRM. So if your sales reps are having conversations with folks, you can actually affect what kind of messaging goes out. You can also build reminders in based on what kinds of activities have happened in your email stream that can be sent to Salesforce and tell your Salesforce what they're doing. Also, when account reps are looking at what activity a user has taken, these marketing automation platforms give really powerful data so that you can be more informed in that conversation. But as I said, and Aweber really is doing a good job trying to catch up. Increasingly, they're adding a lot of that functionality. So I think if someone is either evaluating what solution to use or reevaluating their solution, I think it's really important to do a side-by-side comparison and see exactly what functionality they get and don't get, email versus marketing automation.
All right, thanks. So
I wanted to say one other point, Jason. You talked about, I think you were talking about what you need to make all of this work. And so technology is one part of it, but I think the other really important part of things is that technology is just technology. It only enables you to do segmentation and send emails and get reporting. What's really vital, and I think the hardest part for companies, is to figure out what's the message. What am I saying to people? What information do I want to welcome them with? What do my customers need? What's stopping them from completing? Why is someone giving me their information but not buying? Why is someone giving me their information and not even logging in? And I think in answering those questions and crafting a message and giving really powerful laser information that addresses those needs, that's where the beauty of a lead nurture program comes into play. So I think that in some ways the technology is less important than really getting in the minds of customers and figuring out what they're going to need to get them over the hill.
okay. All right, thanks, Josh.
I think that kind of issue kind of goes to the heart of conversion, and really, it's one thing to offer something, I guess, that's valuable to your potential customers. It's another thing to be able to help take them by the hand and help them understand why it's valuable to them, and you feel valuable.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good.
Hardest for me.
Yeah, it's such a good point, Jason. Honestly, I think you are getting to the heart of the matter. And so, in my opinion, this is why I talk about marketing holism and online marketing holism. You can't just think about the emails as somehow separate than the website or separate than the retargeting efforts or separate from the search campaigns. That it's all one big piece. And I think it all starts from what's the message, where are people challenged, and really how to get there. And this is stuff that depending on how much research or how much companies looked at their analytics can be easy or hard. But it's worth it. It's worth it to put the time in. It's worth it to get the right people in place who have expertise doing this, to be really thoughtful about the messaging and to have it be consistent across the entire marketing program. And I'll tell you, the guys who do that, the companies who do that, they just perform better. I've seen it over and over and over again. It's a consistency, getting all of these pieces running smoothly and having them talk together. It increases revenues pretty much across the board.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, so any more questions? If no, so our next webinar will be next Thursday, and covering the topic of video SEO. So we'll be sending out an email announcement for the registration and join and phone numbers to dial in. Right. Thank you very much. Thanks, Josh, for presenting for this webinar.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. This was a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.